Marcus Stroman, the 22nd overall pick in the 2012 draft, has been handed down a 50-game suspension for elevated levels of whatever, for having been found in his system, and I want to make sure I pronounce this thing properly, methylhexaniamine. Methylhexaniamine. And so, with this 50-game suspension, Stroman comes out and says, hey, despite taking precautions to avoid violating the minor league testing program, I unknowingly ingested a banned stimulant that was in an over-the-counter supplement. Stroman went on to later say, nonetheless, I accept full responsibility and I want to apologize to the Toronto Blue Jays organization, my family, my teammates, and Blue Jays fans everywhere. I look forward to putting this behind me and rejoining my teammates, which will not happen here the rest of the year in New Hampshire. 7 games left, 43 games at the start of the next season. He will be able to fully participate in spring training activities and in his spring training games, but we'll have to wait 43 games into next year's minor league season before he is able to pitch again. What do you think of all this?
Can I just say, I told you so?
Can I just say so?
that I said that he would not be in the big leagues this year before they drafted him, when all that hoopla was flying around about how he was so polished he's going to be in the show this year because the Jays needed help. I just want to say I said that. I'm going to get eaten alive, but I just want to say I did. I knew he wasn't going to be there. I did not suspect it would be for this, and I did not suspect a person. And after talking to him, a very intelligent guy, would make this kind of bonehead mistake. I am so disappointed in this. And not only that, but I'm disappointed in the tired excuse. It's like reading a cue card. You know better than to do this. Every player that's in the minor leagues, because the minor leagues have no union, and baseball can go after all those minor leaguers and test them again and again and again if they want to.
But let me ask you this. You're a guy who was in that situation. You're a guy who signs late. He gets drafted this year. He signs late, almost at the deadline, around the 10th of August. Do those conversations continually recur throughout the course of the season where someone from the organization says to you, hey, before you put anything in your body, we need to check it out? Or has that conversation passed this group by at the start of the season and it's no longer brought up?
So you're saying that teams spend millions of dollars to find the best talent, amateur talent out there, bring them an organization, and then forget to tell them you can test positive. This is a completely different ballgame?
No, what I'm saying is it the possibility that when someone joins the fray late, that conversation has occurred without them knowing?
It is redundant.
Okay.
It's an obnoxious, redundant conversation that teams have to suffer and slog through multiple times during the year because they are subject to so many tests. That is not an excuse. Ignorance is not an excuse. You have been told when you showed up. You have been told in your contract language.
What are you told?
You're told that if there is a over-the-counter substance that you are thinking about taking and it is not on the legal list, the safe to consume list, you run the risk of testing positive. Do your due diligence. Do not put it in your body. If you're Marcus Stroman and you're a first-round pick, there's no excuse for you. None. No excuse at all. You're a millionaire now. You've got the money and you've got the time and you have a high enough profile that you must do your due diligence, because to not do it is to damage your career irreparably. If you're like a 36th round pick or a 45th round pick or something, and you're there because it's a lottery ticket opportunity, they give you $1,000 and a bus ticket to show up, and you screw up, I'm a little bit more forgiving because the resources there, they're not there. I mean, you don't have an advisory council like Stroman does. You don't have agents like he does. You don't have money like he does.
But hang on, let me ask you this. Today, for example, last night I was out late. Had a few too many cocktails. I was overserved, however you want to put it. I got to go to the ballpark today. It's a day game. So I slip into a Walgreens or maybe even a liquor store on the way to the ballpark, and I see on the counter an item that says hangover cure-all. And I pop this pill, and all of a sudden, all the effects from a hangover are gone. Just as the product claims, sitting there on the countertop of either a Walgreens or a liquor store or whatever the case may be. And so I say to myself innocently, oh man, I am not feeling good today. I need to do something to get myself right before I get to the ballpark this afternoon. So I say, oh, wow, this is cool. It's $6. I'll just take this pill. I'm not thinking about a list. I'm not thinking about giving it to the trainer first to see if it's going to be good. What I'm thinking about is getting right within the next hour.
Yeah.
So I buy this product. I take it. I feel great. I pee in a bottle after the game, and they say, it had this, this, and this in it.
Yeah, yeah.
And you say, oh, man, I wasn't even thinking about that.
Let's just go back to the part where you said, I'm not thinking. Because you weren't thinking. You were not thinking. And you're a professional athlete, you're the first round pick. These are the things in your life you must be cognizant of now. You signed the contract, you must be aware that this is a possibility for you. You are not a normal guy walking the street in random clothes. You can take whatever you want. I won't even touch on the fact that if you're a professional athlete, you shouldn't be going to a liquor store before a game anyways. But to just say that you cannot consume things that have promises and chemicals in them like this, you cannot think that way. You must think defensively about what goes into your system. Your body is a product, and you will pay the price if you do not treat that product the right way.
I'm 100 years old, okay? And so I say to myself, being a guy who's gone through some life experiences and whatnot, I say to myself, or if I'm a general manager or director of player development, I say this to all of my players everywhere. And I say it multiple times over the course of a year. If I cannot pronounce at least one of the substances on the back of any bottle of something I'm taking, do not take it. So sit there and read the ingredients on the back of the label. And if there's one thing, and I guarantee you in most of these products, there is one thing on the back of the label that you will not be able to pronounce. And if you can't pronounce it, don't take it.
Oh, there's that. That is on the back of just about any food stuff in existence. I mean, you have to be weary about anything that you consume at this point. I understand that there's a certain level where you're looking at food, you know, that has chemicals in it. But when you're looking at supplements that make outrageous promises, you've got to be smart about what you consume. You have to. Just read the descriptions, for God's sake.
All right. And if you can't pronounce it, don't take it.
I mean, just be smart. You know, you're not going to find this kind of chemical compound in a microwave pizza, okay? You're not going to find it there. You're going to find it in these kind of advertising compounds. If you see that stuff, you'll have to be wary of ingesting it.
Dirk,
alarm should go off in your head.
You're not giving the guy a hall pass for he's tired for whatever reason. He couldn't sleep. He's got things going on at home. He couldn't get to sleep. He's got to get up to and go to the ballpark, and he's not feeling great, and he needs a little something to get him going. And this thing is an over-counter thing. You don't give him a hall pass for just trying to, for that one day, just say, hey, I need to do something here to feel awake, to feel alive, to be able to perform.
You want me to give him a hall pass? You want me to say...
A young, inexperienced guy who signed late, who joined the fray late.
You want me to give a guy who has been following the profession of baseball, probably his entire life, especially since he's been draft eligible, and realizes the harrowing career destruction that can befall a guy who doesn't think before he consumes something that has all these chemical agents in it. You want me to say, it's okay? No, ignorance is not an excuse. He was told not to do something like this. All baseball players are told not to do something like this, and he did it anyways. Look, mistakes happen. I get that. But this was an avoidable one. This is one you could have picked up this product and said, here, MLB, test this and make sure I'm safe before I consume it, because if I test positive, I damage my career and I make the Blue Jays look bad after a whole season of colossally horrible luck.
And maybe we haven't been completely clear on this, but every major league and minor league team has processes in place that say, if you are at all concerned or worried about anything, or in fact, and I think in a lot of cases, they say, don't put anything in your body until you bring it to our trainers. And our trainers, if they can't figure it out or look for a banned substance on the list, will send it to a higher authority, be it in the Major League Baseball offices, or if you're in the minor leagues, in the major league teams' offices, for them to get it figured out. So those processes are in place.
It's not like baseball didn't give players options and ways they could consume a supplement that they like. They have. And he didn't do his due diligence. Due diligence he was reminded to do probably multiple times, and this is the result. So ignorance is not an excuse. That's the thing about professional athletes. Many of them are dumb, not saying Marcus Stroman is, but dumb combined with privileged makes dumb mistakes like this repeatedly. Everyone should know
how does
better.
Privilege factor in?
Privilege, you think you're part of an elite system. that you can't be held accountable for this. All you have to do is apologize. You don't think about your actions as critically as someone else would who would have to pay. If you're a millionaire, I mean, these things don't factor into you. These normal processes that everyone else has to be cognizant of and say, I have a job. My job places special responsibilities on me. Therefore, I do them because I want to keep my job, because I care about it.
So what you're saying is he shouldn't have taken it.
No, I'm saying he should have been smarter about it. That's all.